Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
All right, average Jocks fans, we have Joe Corvo from the Ottawa Senators and the Carolina Hurricanes here. I'm looking forward to him. Definitely somebody I pretended to be in the driveway when I was a kid. Joe, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
One noticeable difference that I can see off the top, last time I remember seeing you, you had a mohawk rocking.
Right.
No
Yeah.
mohawk anymore.
I'm about to be 46, so I mean it's gone. It's going. You know,
Did you ever think
can't hang
maybe opposite, like just do real long, like here, and then like nothing in the middle? I don't
I
know what
mean,
that's called.
if I didn't have to stand on a kid's bench and coach kids, I'd think about doing something like that. But
That's
yeah,
fair. That's fair.
yes,
Um, I mean, like I said, geez, like I said in your intro, I mean, you were somebody I pretended to be growing up, and we had season tickets to the Sens, so it was super fun to watch you play, in a local market for us. Um, I mean, you scored a huge goal to, and I have a few buddies that are diehard Sens. So the one said this afternoon, "You tell Joe thank you from Sens Nation," and
Yeah.
so all 10 of them, and and the other one said there is no bigger goal in franchise history than Joe Corvo's OT goal against Buffalo.
Yeah, to get us to the finals. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
that was game. What was that? Game two or game? I don't
yeah, I
know.
think it was game two. It was the first time Ottawa ever went up 2-0 in a playoff series.
Yeah, but I mean, I knew that we were going to beat Buffalo that whole series. We handled them all year long. They weren't going to be. I didn't think they were going to be a problem. I didn't see any team that year in the East that was going to be a problem. So maybe everybody thought it was like a huge goal, but I just thought it was how it was supposed to play out. And we were gonna win that series no matter what. But I was just fortunate enough to get that bounce to be in that spot. But we were going to beat them. They didn't have enough firepower to beat us.
You know what? I love this. I don't think we've ever had, maybe JR when we had Roenick on. I don't think we've had anybody on that has been that confident in an answer. I love that. It just breathes confidence.
Well, I mean, at that time, like our team was so stacked, uh, and we had such a good vibe, like on our team that there wasn't. We really never ran into Anaheim, um, so we didn't really know that what the finals held. But to that point, there was really nobody that could beat us. I didn't think.
No, and I mean, I feel like the only reason that people had you guys in Buffalo pegged kind of at a similar level was just that pedigree of Buffalo for like multiple years in a row. We're hitting second round conference final, like almost like San Jose did for a decade after that, where it just they could never just get over the hump and make it to the finals. Um,
Yeah,
but I
right.
mean, you guys handled it. I mean, it was Miller time, except for in overtime that game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you see it with teams where they sniff and they sniff, and then it's either like they get over the hump or they don't and they get disbanded. And that's what happened to Buffalo. Like they couldn't get over the hump and they basically got disbanded. And that happens with all teams, that like you said with San Jose, they build a team and they put all the pieces there and they don't get over the hump and now, they get disbanded.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers will be a team like that this year. They won't have the money to keep all those players together.
You know what?
They thought they can get over the hump, but they didn't.
No, but the Rangers are a team that always seem to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like even when they're bad, they seem to still be in the mix somehow. There's always somebody linked, going to the Rangers or trade interest to the Rangers. Like they always seem to be in it.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe comes with the fact that New York is an attractive place to live.
The Big Apple.
Yeah, I feel like they tried to buy it a little bit this year. Like
well, I mean, they learned from the Yankees, right? You can just buy a championship.
But in the end, like you gotta have D-men, like D-men D-men and goalies, they win the championships. Like you're not gonna, you could have all the squares you want, and I think New York this year it was kind of like, is it gonna actually work, the mix of all the talent on the team and the scoring? You know, like is that gonna mesh fast enough for you to win a championship? Like you got to have D-men. Like I think that's a problem with Edmonton. They don't. I mean,
yeah, they have Matthias Ekholm, and then it's a bit of a drop offs, and then they have Darnell.
Is Darnell a number one or two? I don't know.
I think
I would say. I mean, if I'm making a team, and I don't know if anybody would ever trust me to do this, but I would probably have him in an ideal situation as a 3-4.
3-4. He's a 3-4. He's a 3-4. And if you're trying to survive pushing D up like that, and like they're not those guys, then you see what happens. You know, like you can have the most talented player in the world, well, two of them, and you can't get it done. You got to have D-men. You know?
I mean, Toronto's another example of the defense. You know, riding Morgan Riley for the last how many years? You know, a guy's a great defenseman, but he always gets a bad rap, and then they're putting a guy good. Like. He's great. I find it's unfortunately it's like you said, if a team doesn't have that core defense, like they're gonna drain one guy out. That's pretty much what they've been doing, and they got Giordano now and stuff like that. But
I think a little late at this point.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think you got to have a solid 2 to 3 top 4 guys, and then it would be nice to be surprised by like some guys who are overachieving on the lower end. So like our team that year, we had a solid top 4, and then you had like Pricing and myself at the bottom who could actually probably play in the top 4 given another year, like we just get there yet. And I think that's the magic you need, are guys that are on their way up there and are overachieving at their spot, and the salary has to actually align to where it all works out. It's all a magic formula, and when it works out, you win a cup.
That was another conversation I had today with my buddy that's a Sens fan, where he's like, I don't think the Sens have had a better D-core than that cup run team. Like,
yeah,
he was talking like Volchenkov and Redden and Phillips and yourself and Chara, and it's just like there's a ridiculous D-core.
Yeah, no, it was good. And I think like if you look at a super important piece that I think is overlooked in cup runs is a guy like Volchenkov, where like that guy's going to soak 15 shots a game, 10 to 15 shots a game. And those are shots that are not getting your goalie. And if you look back at like the Blackhawks championship teams, who was blocking shots? Hjalmarsson. And then when Hjalmarsson left, did they win any more cups? I don't think so.
No,
like that piece, he was so overlooked that like you got to have a guy soaking shots, and they don't get to your goalie. It's gigantic,
How was it playing? Sorry, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna block shots.
That was gonna be my question. I was like, were you that next guy after him?
No. That guy would come off the ice and take off his pants and have purple marks on his giant quads. Like, I'm not doing it.
I'm assuming obviously you've blocked a shot. I mean, obviously unintentionally, as you said. Like, how much does that actually hurt? Like, even in the shin pads from anybody. Like, I mean, everyone's shooting over 85 or whatever. Like that's got to hurt no matter what.
Right. Do you guys play men's league or no?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if it hits directly in the front of your shin pad, you're fine. But like, you know that there's guys in the NHL like to cut all the pieces of protection they have just to feel good. So you've got exposed ankle, you've got exposed top of the knee or side of the knee or foot. Like those all hurt. Like if it hits you in shin pad, that's fine. But like when it finds your ankle or the top of your foot, I broke my foot in preseason that year in Ottawa. But yeah, those hurt. They kill. You know.
And like it's like I even play hockey with some people that like I have to like tuck my skate tongue like under my shin pad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I can't skate, and some people are just like just ankles. They use it ankles out, tongues flying
Yeah.
around, and I'm
Right.
just like, and I can. Some people don't wear this like long socks. I can see like their bare skin, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh,
The no sock guys, those guys are psychopaths. Like they
Oh yeah.
don't wear socks in their skates.
Yeah, I don't
It's
I
like,
don't understand, like, it's just it creeps me the fuck out. The only shoe you should have on, or two shoes that you should have on without socks, are Crocs and sandals.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen you wear Crocs with socks before.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm saying if you're not rocking socks,
Yeah,
those are the only two acceptable shoes in my opinion to be rocking. Like, yeah, no, it's I don't trust them. I don't
Agreed.
trust people.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, I still wear a cage in men's league, but I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a safe bet. I don't feel like paying for teeth.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, I had to quit men's league because our team could only muster together like at the most 6, 7 skaters. So I was doing 60 minutes on the ice, not coming off. I just was like, that's enough. Like
Yeah.
I'm 45 years old. I don't need it.
Yeah, you want to go out and just play, and have fun. You don't want to. You did your skating in the NHL. You don't want to be out there for 60 minutes
No.
nonstop.
But like men's league for you, like, are you playing with other retired NHL players, or are you just like, sign me up, drafted to a random team? Hey, I'm ex NHL or Joe Corvo.
Yeah, so the owner of the organization that I coach for, Windy City Storm, it's one of the 5 AAA teams here. He owns the rink, so he has his own men's league team there, and it's like a I guess you'd say A league, but in that league there's not many NHL guys or any that really participate. So like we can get guys if you make calls and you get them, but they're not in that league. It's a lot of guys who are, taking clappers from the blue line, and you're like,
Trying to live the dream.
yeah, like getting physical in the corners, like a lot of guys like that. We're just like, I don't need this stuff. But
Well, no kidding. You're not getting paid to do that anymore.
there's a good skate at my rink on Wednesdays, and it's a lot of the Blackhawk. It's called the Blackhawk Alumni Skate, but like, you get guys like Steve Pops out there and
Okay, he has some Cornwall ties actually.
Popper, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Adrian O'Coin's out there. He
Okay.
skates. So there's a good skate on Wednesdays, and they're always like, "Are you gonna come out?" And I'm like, "I can't because I actually have to coach like a practice before that, and it's just like I'm at the rink all day, and I just don't feel like it." But that would be the best skate to skate in. Men's league is just it's too much for me.
I'm loving your honesty, Joe. I'm
Too
loving
many-
your
no,
honesty.
it's
True,
100%.
but it's true though. Like like it is true. Like when I played men's league at my dad's house, like I played, and like these guys are like, like you said, in the corners. Like I don't wear shoulder pads in men's league. Like I was wearing a visor at the time. Go in the corner, guys are cross checking me in the back. They've got like neck guards, and they got the wrist protectors. And I'm looking at I'm like, dude, like if this is how it's gonna be. And then I took a high stick. I deked the guy out, and he literally swung his stick with one hand and hit me in the face.
Right.
And my jersey turned from white to red very quickly. And then I was like, oh, and my brother works at a hockey school. I was like, yeah, I need a cage. Like,
Right.
like it's just like you said, like Joel said, guys still living that fantasy dream that they might get the call up,
Right. I had a guy steal a puck from me one time in men's league, and like go down the ice, and he scored, and he said like 10 years NHL, and like I was like, what? He's chirping me because he stole one puck from me, and I'm like, are you fucking shitting me, man? Like, what are we doing?
How will he drop the gloves
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
you
Yeah.
can't fit in the NHL.
That's probably what the guy wanted, but
Yeah.
we don't need that kind
I
of
feel
trouble.
like, I mean, I never played high level hockey, but like I've played, high enough level soccer, and I feel like I always hated, um, they'd be like, oh, like come out and play men's league or come out and play just like pickup kind of thing. And it always just like turned me off because it was just, you're going out there, it's not actually like quality anything.
Yeah.
And then
Here,
it's just like there's guys that are going hard and like you're used to playing at a competitive level, and it's just kind of like this really is fucking boring. And like that's when you get hurt.
Yeah.
here's what I'll say about adult, non-professional leisure sports, right? I played a softball team. It's called Brass Monkey, and it's all of our friends, and we play softball because it's all of our friends. So we play on Tuesdays, and then we go to the bar after, and we hang out, and like that's why you play.
Yeah.
Like men's league is something completely different, where what you're talking about, these guys are like living their dreams through adult league hockey, and you're not on a team where it's all your buddies, where you're like going somewhere after, and it's all about the experience and being with your buddies. It's more of like men's league is like it's like mercenaries for hire almost in Illinois. It's like can you play men's league tonight? We need to win. You're like, I don't know anybody on that team, I guess, but I think that the experience, whatever you're doing at my age, is like I want to be with all my buddies, and it's not about winning. It's about like having a good game and like doing well, and then going and enjoying something afterwards, rather than going and trying to win, or Joe Corvo needs to score all the goals for us tonight. Like that's not fun.
Can I try and guess what position you play in softball?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say third base.
Nope. Close.
Left field then?
Come on.
Got shortstop.
I don't know. I've seen your biceps. I feel like you need to be at a position that you're launching. Yeah.
Shortstop. No, I hit short, but I play short.
Yeah, can across the field. I can see that.
Well, that's what I was thinking. If that side of the field, if I figured you're just launching the ball.
Well, that's batting. We're talking about the field, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
no, but I was thinking
left field.
You must have a cannon of an arm.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that was growing up. I played baseball and I played hockey. I got a lot of D1 offers for baseball.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or short?
No, I played third in high school, but as a sophomore playing varsity, I hit like 15 homers.
Wow.
Which is I could hit.
Can you hit dingers in the league you're playing in now with your buddies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What's your stats for the year? Humble brag.
No, I haven't made an out in a while. I mean, that's kind of how you base your stats, is like like are you going 1 for 4, or are you going like 4 for 4 or 3 for 4? I haven't gone 1 for 0 in a long time. So
Good.
That's great.
And is this like fastball?
14-inch brass monkey.
I love that. With the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Raiders thing, that's sick.
We've got t-shirts. We've been together for probably 5 or 6 years, our softball team.
Nice.
That's 14 with gloves.
There you go. We had
a team, what, 3 years? We had a team?
Yeah, 3 years. We won the championship back to back to back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Bringers of Rain.
That was it, the name of your team? Bringers of Rain?
Yeah, after Josh Donaldson's nickname, and our logo was after his home runs, and
Nice.
replica Jays jerseys with that logo on it.
I mean, going back to guys that think they still heroes, I almost fought a kid on our team.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name names, but Joel knows.
BJ Algatani.
Yeah, there we go.
That's how our the championship ended last fall was in a brawl. Grown men. Um, the the other team's pitcher called out one of our guys that like said stop whining, and it got bad, and it was like 5-5 or 7-7 at the time, and the ump was like, "That's it, ball game, it's all over." So he ended the game in a tie, the championship game, because 40-year-olds were about to start throwing down.
I mean, as an umpire, I get that because I've umpired men's league, and like you literally make one bad call
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, you got to make one up for us now, Blue. You're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
bro, like I have to go. I'm first off, I'm like 19. Like this was like before, like I'm not 19 now, but like it's like, dude, like as if you're legit. You guys have flames on your jerseys, your like your bats are matching your gloves, like dude, like calm the fuck
Yeah.
down.
That's the other the teams we play, they can't, so we all use the same bat. Our whole team just we have one bat
Yeah.
and we all use it. So like and we smoke the ball. So every team we play is like, you guys load your bat's loaded. And we're like, no, we have a former professional athlete. We have a former NFL football player. We have all these athletes on our team who could smoke balls, and they just can't believe that our bat. They're they look for excuses. We're like, our bat's legal, dude. We just got some horses on our team,
Yeah.
and we're 40, whatever, and they just can't handle it.
I
So
love it. I don't think there's any better rivalry in sport than men's league sports. Like you're not going to see bigger rivalries than that.
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, that's true.
But it's funny, it's the biggest rivalries, but the least at stake.
Right. Nothing. Yeah. What are we playing for here?
Ego, man.
Yeah. I get to go to work tomorrow and tell my coworkers that
have some great water cooler stories.
Yeah, that I fought a dude at baseball yesterday.
Yeah. The best is when guys get hurt doing it too, and they got to go to work with like torn meniscus or whatever it is. It's like, dude, maybe you should just stop playing if you can.
Never.
Yeah.
Um wow. Um so I mean we'll get back a little bit to hockey, I guess. So in that cup run, you played with another one of my absolute favorite goalies of all time in Razor Ray.
Yeah.
How, like, I feel like he always seemed to be a little sassy in media stuff, which is like I like because it was personality.
Yeah.
Where, you see a lot of guys, it's the same, rehearsed or fed lines by the agent or team, whatever. And like, I remember, he had this is after his Ottawa days, but like when he was playing over in the K, trainer tried to put his hat on him, like tried to fight the trainer. He just seemed to have some personality.
Yep.
But how was that in the locker room? Like, was he the same way with the guys as he was in front of the camera? Was this a bit of like maybe like a PK Subban situation where personality was a little bit bigger than most guys would have liked?
Yeah. I mean, Ray was when I first met him. He's a hard man to read because I think when people, have maybe demons or go through things, you know, he kind of like kept to himself. Um, he was an interesting man. He really nice guy. Um, if you knew that he wasn't feeling great in the morning, you knew not to shoot over his pads, or else he'd come after you with his stick if he had a rough night before the practice. Um, but like personality wise, like he wasn't a dick at all. He was great. Uh, McGrattan and Ray uh, and myself, we hung out a bit. Ray was a great guy. You know, he was just a different. You just knew you had to know how to deal with Ray.
That's fair.
He went through a lot of stuff. Like we're talking about rehab and like there's a lot of demons there. So you just had to know like what frame of mind he was in that particular day, like and approach him based on that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did that make it tough being that you guys are, I mean, anybody that's playing professional sports is, super competitive and win at all costs. Was it tough navigating that, but also having a team first mentality?
He always showed up. Like he always showed up. So like if a guy's always showing up, like I'm not going to question what he's doing in his spare time. He always showed up when it was game time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like is that going to catch up with you in the end? It's probably going to make your career a little bit shorter. But like that guy, he always showed up. He always battled. He wasn't like a super conventional goalie in the way he moved, but he made the saves, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
we always knew that Ray was going to be like as a defenseman. I never worried about whether he was on or off. He was always on. So I had no problem with the way he operated. It's some you just that nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
And I mean, I think, and like, I mean, the whole thing with Buffalo when he took on the whole team, I mean, obviously goes to show that whatever crest was on the front of his jersey, he was just ready to throw down for the boys. Like he didn't give a shit.
Fought Marty Biron, then fought
Like,
Andrew Peters.
You know what I mean? Like it's just you can tell, like, even us just watching him, like you can just tell that he would blood, sweat, and tears for the crest on the front. Like his name was on the back, but you can always tell it was like no, like Ray was going out there. Like you said, it didn't matter what kind of state of mind he was in. He showed up for games and he showed up like he never let you guys leave. Wow, he never let you guys hang.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, I wouldn't have fought him in practice or anytime.
Well, yeah, there's not too many guys that are getting punched by other professional athletes that have a smile on their face. And it's scary. That to me is scarier than anything. And I mean, you mentioned hanging out with McGrattan and Emery. I feel like you're ripped as fuck, and you were probably the weakest guy of those three, or the least crazy.
Right. I create the smoke and mirrors with my physique, and those guys are just like they don't care how they look. They'll just beat the bag off you.
Yeah.
They don't care. They're crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
That's great.
So what, I guess, what was the coolest thing? And I mean, I know you guys ultimately lost in the cup final, but like, there's not many guys, even if you count statistically, that make it to a Stanley Cup final.
Right.
What's left in the tank at the end of the day? Like what, by round 4, you're running on fumes.
Yeah. So that was obviously my first Stanley Cup Finals, and the worst part about that was going coast to coast. Like we're talking about like trying to sleep was impossible, right? Like we played 2 games in Anaheim. Well, we had to fly out there and try to get your body acclimated to sleeping, and then the 2 games are over and you're going back east, and now you're trying to acclimate your body again, but you only have 1 day. Like that whole series to me was like a blur. And then you have family coming in, dealing with that. It was just like if I could get there again, I would like do it completely different. You know what I mean? I wish I had another chance because that one was such a whirlwind going coast to coast, and I felt like it was just too much, like didn't sleep a lot, pressure. Like, to be honest, for me, I don't think I played the best. And I said, if I ever get another chance to do this, I'd do it differently. Like, I put too much pressure on myself. Um, just like a lot of things like that. I wish I could have made it again to that point to where I could actually give it another shot and do it differently. But that's just the way it goes, like it just didn't happen for me. We got close, but anyway, yeah, it was a whirlwind. It was a lot. Some guys get to do it, a ton of times. I mean, you look at a guy like some of those guys in Tampa that get there every year, but that just didn't happen. If I could do it again, I'd do things differently, but it was a lot. I think in the end, we were they just bullied us out of that series.
But I also think too, like with Canadian teams, like obviously you played for when you were playing for Ottawa, like with us Canada only having 6 teams
Right.
at the time,
Yeah.
like, and it's like every time that Canadian team gets closer and closer to the finals, like it didn't matter if it was Ottawa or Montreal or Toronto, whoever it was. I always thought, like, as a fan, there was always more pressure on that team, and like I always wondered like what it did to the players, and like you just answered that question, saying like like you put all this pressure on yourself, but really like it's just like it's because it's like it's been since '93 there hasn't been a Canadian champion. '93, it's just like, was that ever a thing where like when you guys made it,
Like
that
the weight of the nation.
yeah, like the weight of the like all of Canada? Did you ever feel that as a player, or was it kind of just like you were stuck in your own groove?
Yeah, for me, I was just kind of stuck in my own thing where it was just like I want to be able to do my best. I didn't really think of it that way. I'm glad I didn't because I would have added to.
Yeah, no, I just ruined your whole night, Joe. My bad.
Yeah. In 07, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it was just more of a, you know, we I think like getting off the plane and it was more of for the town, for Ottawa, because getting off the plane when we beat, Buffalo and we flew home and so many people lining the streets. And it was more just thinking about like winning for Ottawa. I never really thought of it as like winning for Canada. Um, and especially obviously I'm from the US. So, but it was more about the fans in Ottawa. Like at the end of the day, where I felt like, we wanted to win for them and it just didn't happen.
So I mean, we'll move on from Ottawa. Um, you end up in Carolina,
Yeah.
which I mean, what came, a couple of years prior, they won the cup. Um, how was it? I guess what was the difference between going from Ottawa to Carolina, like market wise?
Oh, way different. I mean, do you want like the background of why I left?
Sure. I mean, I'm interested.
Yeah.
The first time or the second time?
The first time.
Okay.
So the first time, we obviously we lost in the finals and we came back, started the year super hot. I think we're probably like 18-3 or something. Pretty hot. Um, and I just thought like I wanted more responsibility in terms of like power play and stuff like that. Like I want to do more for the team. I thought I could provide more for the team. And I had a meeting with Brian and Brian was like, based on salary at that point, Brian was like, you can't really be in those spots right now because we've got guys who are making X amount of dollars who had those opportunities. And so I was like, all right, well, if I can't be in those roles, then I'd like to go somewhere else. Even though we were doing okay, we were doing well, and we kind of hit a couple bumps in the road, but just like I if you're not going to put me in those spots, then I want to go somewhere else. So, and Brian was such a stand-up guy, like
That was my other question. Like he seemed like such a classy guy.
yeah,
So
he was one of the best coaches I've ever had, and like men in hockey that I've ever met. Brian Murray, like he said, "All right, well, we can't do that for you. I will move you," even though he probably didn't want to move me.
Mhm.
I'll move you. So he moved me to Carolina, um, and I got so yeah, going from Ottawa to Carolina was like it's hard to describe. I mean, you're going into Carolina where they did win a cup, but it's not like a super crazy hockey market. Like
Mhm.
Ottawa, everywhere you go, people whisper because they're like, "There's Joe Corvo, he's right there." Everyone knows who you are.
Mhm.
Carolina's way different. I was going to a team that was chasing, trying to make a playoff spot after they won the cup uh, years prior, and it was um, an opportunity for me, and it was just way different. Um, Pressure wise, I mean, I had played in LA for years before Ottawa, were so I knew what that market was like. It's people, there's hockey there, but they don't live and breathe hockey. So I was kind of
Mhm.
going into a market that I was already used to. So there was no pressure there, and I just got after it when I got traded there.
So I mean, you go from, you know, arguably one of the best leaders in all of hockey. And I mean, again, I've never met the guy, but seems to be a popular guy in Daniel Alfredson, um, to maybe who would be the next generation's one of their staples of a captain, and Eric Stahl.
Mm.
Can you maybe speak on the difference between kind of,
Like a veteran captain compared to a younger captain.
yeah.
Um, well, there was other people in place there because Rod was there,
That's
like,
right.
and you had other veteran players there that were like very, very respected at that point. Um, so there was more like numbers in terms of older veteran players there than there was
Mhm.
in Iowa. Like there was, three Daniel Alfredsons in Carolina in terms of like guys who were there who won the cup. They were still there. So it was like almost more like a humbling thing to where it was like let me get to work and I need to perform well because these guys are here. And so I thought there was more of a little bit of pressure to perform in front of these guys who had been there and won a cup. So I thought it was a little bit more like that I needed to do what I needed to do, you know.
Rod Brindamore looks like one tough son of a bitch.
That's my literally what I was
Um,
gonna say. Yeah.
like, how intense was this guy in the locker room?
He doesn't say much, to be honest. Like
Really? Oh.
I
Well,
think
I didn't expect him to say much. I
Well,
feel like he just has to look at you and
yeah.
like,
right. He's definitely the leader by example. Like that's what he is. He's going to be in the gym after the game on the bike. He's going to be working out. He's going to be doing this, doing that, like completely dedicated and not saying much. Like if Rod's going to say a lot, like there's a big problem. He's I like him being the coach of Carolina right now is like he's got to be one. In my, I don't know, like his coaching style has got to be exactly how he played. Like just the respect level that everyone has for that guy. Like you want to play for him, and I think that's gigantic if you want to be a head coach in the NHL or anywhere. You have to have that respect level, and he has it without even saying much, and he does it all through his actions. Whether it's I know he's working out in the gym right now, like while the players are doing what they're doing, I'm sure he's in the gym with them. He's doing all that stuff. And, that's, I kind of try to do the same thing. I know it's youth hockey, but copy the guy and do the same thing he's doing, lead by example. That's kind of how I am. But yeah, he's a great dude. All the respect in the world for that guy. He's awesome.
I mean, what age group are you coaching? I know you said you're coaching AAA, but I'm not sure if you said what age group.
So I'm doing 14-year-olds this year, and 18-year-olds. I have a son on the 18U team. So I started 10 when I retired like 10 years ago. I started with Pee Wees, then I worked my way up to all the way up to 18s, and now they give me a different team, like a team without one of my kids on it this year, 14-year-olds. So that's where I'm at.
How is it coaching a team that, like, is your approach any different having a team that you don't have like a kid on compared to coaching one of your sons?
Yeah, it's way different. Because he plays D, so I would have to, there's always that stigma like, all right, he's coaching D, his son plays D, how much is his son going to play? I played the players that should be on the ice at certain times. Like I had no favoritism towards my kid. But not having any kids this year is way different, and it was exciting because I started building a team a couple months ago. So it's exciting to build a team, and then when we'll start, I don't really have to think about like that at all on the back end. I don't have a kid on forward or D, so I don't really have to think about that whole element, and it's a little different. I think it's going to be I'll be able to see a little bit more because you tend to watch it, whether if you're on the back end coaching D, you tend to watch like when your D step out there, all the D. But now I'm coaching forward, which is a little bit different. So it gives me an opportunity to like kind of learn and see what the forwards see, but also like I do get to watch the D as well. So it's just an interesting new dynamic that I get to see that, I wasn't sure if I can coach forwards, but I mean, when you see the game, you see the game. So,
And I mean, regardless of what position you play, I feel like if even the shittiest guy to ever play for the NHL has to have some kind of hockey sense or vision for the game to be
yeah.
able to play at that high of a level. So,
Yeah. I mean, we're at a point in AAA. When you get to 14s, it's like glaringly obvious, like the kids that don't have hockey sense. I mean, or they can't skate. Like for me, it's like if you can't skate, you can't play on my team. So I look for kids that can skate, and then hockey sense wise and athleticism. Like you got to be athletic. Um, so there's a couple like prerequisites there that you have to have at 14. I'm not sure that you could teach a kid how to, if they're really behind on skating, it's tough to catch them up at 14. So that's like the first thing for me. You got to be able to skate, and then you got to be able to think the game. Those are the two most important things.
I mean, yeah, 14. Yeah, that's fair. Still, you want
Well,
you want
you
the
got to
kid to
think
still be learning, but like you said, to have that base where you're not taking them from down here to bring them up here. You got them here, and you're trying to just get them up a little bit higher.
right. Like obviously the prime development age is like squirt and peewee. So if a kid slips through the cracks there and is playing double A and his coach doesn't do any skating or passing, like doesn't focus on that stuff enough, but like the kid's athletic, it's like it's tough to teach a kid how to skate when they get to Bantam Major. It's really tough. I do passing and skating before like at the beginning of every practice, but like it's tough to catch kids up unless they get like a personal skating coach to work on their stride and like change their stride because they've been doing the bad thing for so long, and now they get in front of you at 14 years old. It's tough to break them of those habits.
what would be, I mean, like, would you see yourself coaching like junior or, uh, you know, high level hockey? Like, is this, would that kind of be your goal, or is this just for fun at this point?
For me, I am in a like a mid, like an in between state where I don't know. It's like I'm having fun coaching youth hockey. Uh, I've been learning for 10 years, like learning not only learning the youth game, but like seeing the whole recruitment game, at 18s and 17 the 18U and 16s and 15s and how all that works with the advisors and that whole business. So it's just kind of like information gathering right now, um, and kind of like getting better as a coach in terms of practices and like all that stuff. So I'm kind of just in a learning area still after 10 years of coaching. I think I'm getting better every year. So I really couldn't tell you like goal wise, if an opportunity came around, would I be open to it? 100%. But I'm just trying to do the best I can with the youth and then learn everything that I can learn.
Have you heard of like Mike Weaver's
Yeah.
company that he has?
Yeah.
I thought that was super cool. I'll probably only ever coach like my kids' team, but
Yeah.
I feel like
Genius.
it is. And like, have you ever used anything like that, like to just make your life easier?
He has what, the coach's site? Is that it? Or
Yeah, and it pretty much you
Coach
click on the type of drills you want to run, and
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, there's a drill database. It's called Drill Draw that a lot of coaches use. But I tend to uh, I have a lot of them like in my head. But I work with a lot of other coaches. So I played with Mike in LA, and he was always a computer guy. So that seemed like the right way for him to go. Um, but yeah, we use a lot of that technology with we look on that, and it's funny the way coaching happens is like it kind of goes in waves. Like a bunch of coaches are doing this stuff and other coaches hear about it, and then you start doing the drills. um, for me, I like to watch my team play, um, and figure out our weaknesses, and then I'll kind of mix drills. Like I'll blend different drills together and work like that. Like I don't really want to take certain drills and like a lot of coaches have 10 to 15 drills that they just do over and over again. I like to see what my team is lacking week by week and kind of like hammer different drills based on that. So I'm not going to stick to like a handful of drills and do them all year long.
That's smart, because I always remember growing up, like I only played a couple years of like traveling hockey, but I remember practice. You knew what was going down. If we lost, there was no pucks and we were skating. But
Yeah.
if we won, we were coming in. We were doing the same four fucking drills over and over again,
And the end of practice for the shootout.
and then you end the practice with a shootout.
Yeah.
And there was one year that we won the like our division, our league, and we went to the tournament of champions. But then my coach's ability to navigate our team through a championship tournament showed, and we fucking lost because of them, because
Right.
we went into overtime and we had three lines, and he went down from three lines to four forwards,
Ugh.
and he just cycled the four forwards, and then he would put like my line. I'm okay with hockey. I can skate, but back then I was like 125 pounds soaking wet, so I was always going to the corner and getting fucking destroyed by the big defenseman, because I was on the ice for 45 seconds,
Yeah.
and then so in that time, it was like those four guys would go on, and then he'd put our line out for 15 seconds, and then you'd hear him yell, and we had to get off,
Yeah.
and we lost because of that,
Right.
and like I remember we played this team, the Mississippi Thunder Kings. That's who we lost to. And there was this kid, Fuck, we were in grade 8. Yeah, grade 9. And this kid was 6'6" on skates, and he would touch the puck and everybody would get scared.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm getting like 35, 40 seconds ice time. I'm like, I'm gonna try and hit this guy. Probably the worst mistake I ever did in my entire life. Drew a penalty. I drew a penalty. I went to go hit him, and he just fucking drove his stick right in my cage.
Yeah.
And fucking snot rockets, everything. He got he got a penalty. We didn't score, but I mean,
I have a player on my 14-year-old team that's like that. A kid went to hit him 2 weekends ago and basically knocked himself out. Like a 6'2", 14-year-old who's just strong, like not skinny, like strong. And one of the mission kids went to hit him and basically knocked himself out. It was great.
it was great. I have to ask. I mean, I think this is more of a fan noticing it, but when you played in Ottawa, Peter Schaefer had the wildest fucking tape job on his stick.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you remember that, but I did.
It was junk.
It was one strip on the bottom of the blade, and then at the top, it just enough to say that he could keep the tape on.
Yeah. It was just.
So I'm not crazy. Okay, good.
And then he was an interesting. His whole setup was interesting. And what did he have at the top? I thought he had. I thought did he shave it down to where it was like a.
I think he just had just like a little bit at the top, like a little bit.
I remember the blade, like he couldn't sauce because he had no tape on his stick. And then the curve was just like not. It was like crazy before Ovi's curve was crazy. Like
Yeah,
he had I think it was like a super toe. Yeah,
his toe was like it went, and then his toe was like
yeah.
stupid. Yeah, and you're like, you see it in the store, and you're like, don't fucking wonder you can't hit the net, man. Like, how do you do it?
Yeah, Shafe and I got along really well. We were neighbors.
Was that a thing, like tape job? Was that like a superstitious thing for some guys in the dressing room?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, I mean, you have to be able to. You have to be a master to be able to operate without tape on your stick these days. Because, I mean, you guys know that those blades, like, you can't sauce off those blades if there's no tape on it. It's like slick, and the puck just like goes end over end.
Yeah.
So, like a guy like Ovi, he's obviously shooting all the time, and the puck comes off that blade. Like you don't know where it's going to go because there's no tape on it. He scores a shit ton of goals, but like playmakers, do you see any playmakers that don't tape their stick the proper way? I don't think so.
No.
The guys who, if you want to make plays in tight, like you got to have tape on your stick. Like I tell all the kids, they see Panarin stick and they're like, they tape it like Panarin, but you're like, guys, it might look like he's just taping the end of his stick, but if you look close, he's got like black tape waxed on there. So like when he needs a sauce, he can sauce,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I tell all my kids, like, you have to tape your blade almost to the heel. Like you could come off the heel a little bit, but like, come on, you guys aren't pros.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody has their, Spez was a big same everything guy. His stick was really weird.
Yeah, because he had just the middle, I think, right?
He had his lie was super weird. He had like a lower lie than I've ever seen because his hands were like low all the time. He had kind of a similar curve to Shafe, but like it was like straight and then curved at the end. But he was religious with his sticks, Spez. It was like if something was wrong on any part of the stick, it was like, I'm not using that one. I'll get another one.
Yeah.
Question for you, since we're talking about crazy guys you played with. Heater, he had 1507.
Yeah, we had quite the wild crew there in Ottawa.
Yeah, like it's almost like weird to think of. Like, you wouldn't think that some of these guys gel.
Yeah.
Like Alfie just seems like such like he'd be like a serious guy.
Yeah.
And then like I look at Danny Heatley and it just screams like frat guy to me.
Yeah.
And Mike Fisher,
Mike Fisher being like,
Yeah.
I mean, at
very
least
religious.
very religious,
Yeah.
into the hunting fishing game.
Yeah.
You got Chris Phillips that looks like he's like an accountant.
Yeah.
And you got man giant Zdeno Chara, and then you got the crazy Russian Anton Volchenkov.
Chris Neal.
Yeah. So I'm gonna correct you here. Chara
I
got
was
went
on
to
that team.
Boston, and then I went. That's why they
No.
got. That's why
Yeah.
they got me.
Yeah, Charles, because you said it earlier and I wasn't sure. And then
You
I
can
looked
slap him. He's right there. Give him a slap in the face.
Joe said it.
Yeah, no, but the Chara vacated, so they were looking for somebody new. So that they picked pricing off of San Jose, and they got me off LA as free agents, and that filled the void. And then Wade, they had Wade and
Mhm.
Mazzaros. They were like 1-2.
Forgot about that.
They were 1-2. Philly. Who
Yeah.
was the and Volch, and then me and pricing. So that was like 1-6.
Wow.
And then Christoph Schubert would fill in once in a while at forward. He was like the swing man. He could play both.
Yeah, that was another name that came up today. We're friends on Facebook, but like he only posts in German, so I gotta use the translation.
Really?
Yeah,
He's a nice guy.
yeah, she's a really nice guy.
He was actually too nice. He needed to be a little bit meaner because he was a beast, like body wise, heavy, but like he just wasn't mean. If he was mean, like I would have been great. We would have played a long time. But yeah, so we'll go back to Heater.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Yeah, Heater's again like one of those. We had a team like with some guys who, made some mistakes in the past, and he was in that. I mean, remember in obviously in Atlanta, he was in the car. So you're seeing a version of a person that has been through some big trauma in his life. The guy could score goals. I mean, if does Heater score 50 or whatever if he's not on a line with like Spez or Alfie? I don't know. Was he the greatest skater? I don't know. Could he score? The guy could score from anywhere, right? So he's one of those players where he's got to have some really good passers, and he's gonna bury, and he's gonna score a lot of goals. So that's the kind of player Heater was. He was a great guy, another great locker room guy, and just another piece of that puzzle. He was awesome.
And it was, because it was like you said, like him playing with Spezza, like, and I remember like when he like Spezza would drop past to Heaters all the time, and then when Spezza moved on from Ottawa, like kind of went other places, he'd be playing, he'd come in through the neutral zone, he'd hit the blue line, and he would drop past it, and there'd be nobody there.
Yeah.
And because he was so used to having Heaters coming in hot behind him, and he knew, like you said, he can score from anywhere, and he'd pick that puck up and score unbelievable goals, But like, yeah,
that was whenever Spez was skating up the ice with the puck and like on the boards. That was when I knew, like, all right, I got to be fourth man here because Spez he's gonna either stop up, he's gonna buy some time, and like I got to be the D at the top of the zone coming in because he's gonna be looking for like that fourth man in that open spot in the middle of the ice. So whenever he was carrying up the ice, I was like on my horse to get in the spot I needed to be in. He was good.
Can I ask a question about Jason Spezza? And like it has nothing to do with hockey. Just since I was a kid, for whatever reason, he just looks like somebody to me that smokes darts. That just smokes like a pack a day.
Yeah, he's not going to work too hard in the gym. I'll tell you that much. But
okay,
yeah, no, he's just a talented guy. I was impressed that he stayed around as long as he did. But he just loved hockey. He's like one of those guys who just loves hockey, like everything about hockey, like following it, whatever team, he's always seeing who's winning and who's scoring points. Like he was always fully immersed in hockey. He loved hockey. So, I that's why he stuck around so long because he wanted to he wanted to win a cup so bad and know what that feels like because he's a hockey guy through and through. Spez, he's all hockey.
I mean, one more thing about Danny Healy. What was up with that guy's windshield for a visor? Did they not? Is that like the last visor they had, or he just wanted to wear that?
That big one.
It's like a
Yeah.
3/4,
Yeah.
yeah.
Put a pair of windshield wipers on that thing, man. It was a windshield.
Yeah. Did any? I remember he had two different colored eyes. Heater did. Like he
Okay.
had a blue one and a black one. I don't know if that's like if he had an eye injury at some point. I'm
Okay.
not sure. But yeah, he had that old school like 80s visor. I remember. Uh, I'm not sure why, but that's how he rolled.
Hey, got asked the questions. You were there, so
He
I
was
don't think
also
I'll.
a guy with he only had a strip of tape in the middle of his blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't passing.
Yeah.
No, no,
Peter
no.
wasn't a disher. He wasn't a disher. Finisher.
Um, so fun question before we move on to some current hockey stuff. Who would be your ideal, like, and it doesn't have to be anybody you played with, who would be your ideal D partner?
Like current or like
Any all time.
so I think I had well from when I played I'd say my two favorite deep partners were Matthias Nordstrom in LA. And I'll tell you why. It's because I could go and he's always going to be there. Never had to worry about a guy being back, right? So that's for me when I played, it was good to know that my partner was going to be back. Um, that's why when I played with Ottawa in what was it, 14, and uh, McLean put Carlson and I together one game, we were probably dash. Like I'd go and then I'd look back and he'd be like in front of me. It was like you can't have two guys who want to score goals or be involved with offense, you know, skating together. So yeah, Matthias Nordstrom was my favorite like stay-at-home D that I played with. I also played in LA with Lubomir Vishnevsky, and he was
Oh, what a name.
Love that. Love
yeah,
that.
he was so skilled that like he was skilled and offensive, but like he wouldn't jump into the rush all the time. So it worked out really well to where like two puck moving defensemen together that weren't like always we didn't always need to be in the play. It worked out so well. Like he could get out of trouble like in a corner. I could get out of trouble. He was also one of my favorite D to play with. I think one year in LA at the break, like the All-Star break, we were like plus 28 or something. Both of us. It was just like
Wow.
and we played together. So he was awesome. Uh, other than that, I don't know. I didn't really have a steady D partner beyond that. Tim Gleason was good. I like Tim Gleason, the D coach in Carolina. Uh, as as much as people don't like to, Yoni Pikkinen was decent. He had a bad attitude, but he was fun to play with. He was skilled. Um, you know, that's about it. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else.
All right. And if you had to play in front of any goaltender,
Any goaltender.
I mean, it could be of all time. It doesn't have to be anybody you played with.
Of all time. Who's good now? There's some good goalies out there. Um, I, I'm gonna say Tuukka Rask. I thought he was awesome. And I say that because I like them as like people,
Okay.
like Robin Leonard, Tuukka Rask, awesome dudes, like awesome guys. Goalies, yeah, goalies are different, like
they're the kickers of the NHL.
yeah, they're different. Yeah, I'll just say those guys, just because I think that they're great humans, and I enjoyed playing with them and being around them. If I had to play in front of a goalie now, like uh, the goalie in the who plays for the Rangers seems to be
Igor
unreal.
Shesterkin.
Yeah, Vasilevsky, but like I'd love to play in front of that guy. That guy, he's unreal.
Yeah.
He's unreal.
Great.
Massive.
Bob's playing unreal for Florida. Like, who wouldn't want to play in front of that guy right now?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
Who was the like playing defense when you obviously to throw your body around a little bit? Who was like the one time you were lining up a hit and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take this guy out, and you hit him, and it was kind of like one of those two bricks running into each other. Like who surprised you as being tough on their skates?
Oh man. Crosby would be one of those guys. I can't remember the guy's name who played for. He was a Russian guy who played for the Canadians later in his career. Bigger guy, lefty, forward.
So many Russians played.
Huge name. Huge name.
Radulov?
No, like I'm talking like old school. Anyway, or a guy like Yager. You go to hit a guy like that from behind and pin him, and like you just eat his like he knocks the wind out of you.
Yeah.
Guys who Yager's one of those guys. Uh, Parisi was pretty good, like a reverse hitter. I thought that guy was one of the hardest guys to play against, Zach Parisi, because he'd reverse hit you, knock you on your ass. Tavares was strong on his skates, super strong. Guys like that, where they're just like feels like they're made out of cement. A guy like Tavares, guys like that.
Um,
I'm trying to think who that guy was.
Yeah, I'll think about it later.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of Russians have played for Montreal.
Yeah.
Even being a Habs fan, I'm like trying to like go through the names.
well, I'm thinking big names like
What? Go ahead.
I mean, before like the only other big name Russian that sticks out to me is Kovalev.
That's him.
There you go.
Kovalev.
Yeah.
Like that guy, when you went to hit him in the corner and he had the puck, like it was so solid. It was like running into a fucking mailbox. Yeah, he was strong in his skates. That would probably be my number one. You just kind of like contain that guy. Don't try to knock him over because you're going down.
Those white skates with the fucking
Yeah.
tongues sticking out.
Yeah. Yeah. He had a lot of points of flair.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So I only have two questions for you. One's hockey, one's not, and then we'll let you head out to watch Game 6.
Yeah.
Who's your pick for the Stanley Cup? I mean, obviously there's Dallas and Vegas left in the West at the time of this recording, and then the Panthers obviously in the East. Who would you like to see come away with the cup?
Florida.
Nice. Go Kitties.
Paul Maurice all the way.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice.
Go Kitties.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the best.
His emotion never changes. Like there's even like a video of him like they were talking like in the dressing room. I think it was after they won Game 4, and like he's trying to be emotional.
Yeah,
and you can see it on his face that he's trying to be, but it's like he wants to cry because he's so happy, but his tear ducts are just like, yeah, not today, Paul. Sorry, man, not happening.
Did you have him as a coach in Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he seems like an absolute beauty. He's somebody that, I mean, over the years that like, again, I'm never ever going to play pro hockey, but he's somebody that I think I would have liked to have as a coach.
Oh yeah, he's a player's coach, 100%. When he's yelling at the group, it's in a comedic way, like tongue in cheek. He's like,
I get that sense.
Yeah.
He that personality shows. I find in the interviews as well. He's not afraid to, make a little comment, a jab here or there.
yeah, it's hard to put your finger on like how he does it, but he does it so perfectly. Like his situational awareness of like how the team is feeling in certain moments and how he handles it as a coach, like what he says like between periods is just like so spot on all the time. Like he's a really smart,
So like emotionally intelligent.
yeah, he's a super uber smart guy.
Sweet. So my last question before we let you go. I mean, Adam and I both have tattoos. You got quite a bit of ink.
Yeah.
What would you say is the piece you're most proud of and the piece that you may regret the most?
Let's see, piece I'm most proud of. I guess kids' names.
Okay.
Oh, fuck, that must have hurt, man. God damn.
Getting the abs or the placement of the tattoos?
No, the ribs.
Okay.
I mean, getting the abs, I'd have to work out, and that just sounds like,
Yeah, kids' names. Most proud of for sure.
oh yeah.
And I'll say this, and this is basically I've said it before, like to my wife, like, I don't know if I should have got this tattoo. She made a great comment and she said, every tattoo you get represents a time in your life and how you were thinking at that point. So why would you ever want to cover something up that was at that point in your life important,
Yeah.
So
That's a
for
good
me,
way of thinking of it.
Yeah.
So for
I
me,
mean,
it's
unless you have like an ex-wife's name, then
exactly.
Yeah, like her
Exactly.
fucking says like Shelly, and it's a big fucking picture
Right.
of her, like.
Right. Like this is my first tattoo, the Tasmanian Devil playing hockey.
Okay.
That's sick. That's
I got it when I was 16 years old, but would I cover it up? It's shitty now, but would I cover it up or do I regret it? No. Like, I mean, we'll talk about being men. Like, this is kind of a little bit of embarrassing, like the ring around the belly.
at what age did you get that?
The ring around the belly?
Yeah.
We were, yeah. No. Where did I get that? In Myrtle Beach? Here. Probably my late 20s or early 30s. So, but that would be one where I could be ridiculed about.
Do you remember the thought process behind that one?
Oh,
What did that? What was the significance or importance of that in your life at that time?
You guys remember like the time where like the bands,
Tribals, yeah.
right? The bands, tribal, and it was just like the tribal time. I'm like, where else can I put a tribal piece on my body? Yeah, and I did get a belly button ring.
That honestly, that was the next thing coming out of my mouth. Is like the only thing that could have made that more ridiculed is if you had a belly button ring.
I did. Luckily,
at the same time, like you rocked both, or was it
Yeah.
you traded the ring in for the tattoo?
no, that both, and then the ring got like
No.
my body would not accept the ring. It kept getting infected, so I took it out.
Well, you thank your body every day for that, my friend.
Right.
Jesus. Like you were still in the show at that time. Like, what were the boys saying? You're hopping in the shower. Was it at least like it wasn't like you didn't have jewelry like a diamond stud?
Bedazzled.
No, it was just a ring. It was like a silver ring.
Oh Lord.
But that's what the muscles are for. If anybody wants to have a
Fuck
comment,
around, find out.
Yeah.
Fuck around and find out.
Oh my Lord! Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
That's great. I love that.
No, I'm going for I guess I'll ask your advice. Like I have 2 appointments in June to start working on my sleeve.
Yeah, look at that. Some clean skin there.
Well, I have it on both inners right now, but should I start bottom up or do top down?
Top down.
Let him up.
Really?
Bottom up?
That's
That's what I was thinking, but like 95% of the time you see people that go top down.
I would start the bottom up, and then you can like. It depends on what kind of theme you want. Like if you want to.
So I'll share it. I am fucking in love with Indiana Jones. Big fan. So it's kind of like a jungle piece. And there's gonna be like at some point like a silhouette of kind of like Indy walking through the jungle.
And the thing with it, like the thing he picks up in his hand, like that little talisman at the end.
I didn't think of that. I had that as like a background piece because in the photo I seen there was kind of like a Shiba head or something, and I was just like, let's switch it for like that face instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like my idea is that jungle, and then kind of incorporate more into the jungle going up.
Yeah. I would go bottom up for sure.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, I got all this top stuff early, and now it's like, all right, I can't really incorporate. I don't want like incorporate any of this stuff down here. So if I was started here, I don't know. Who knows? Can go either way. But I go bottom up.
Okay, bottom up it is.
I don't even know why I said top down. I started bottom up. So
yeah, well, that's
I was like,
you don't see so many people doing bottom up.
But I find it's better. Like I'm stuck. Like I have like all through. I mean, I started with a Lord of the Rings tattoo, so I can't get really nerdier than that.
You guys, movie buffs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But like next is like right here, like that's
crease of the arm.
That I'm a little worried about. But I mean, at this point, I'm already 5 tattoos in. I'm not gonna stop now.
Yeah, get some numbing cream and.
Nah, don't be a bitch. You're fine.
Well, fuck. Sorry, I didn't say it for me. I was talking for you.
There's a couple of joints, bud. My tattoo artist lets me smoke weed while he tattoos me, so I just do that.
If I was to get a movie tattoo, I would probably get like I was looking at some Blade Runner 2049. I think it's 2049.
Okay, yeah.
You're not gonna go with the original Wesley Snipes?
What?
You're not gonna go with like the original Wesley Snipes Blade?
Oh no, that's Blade. Blade Runner is the movie. Blade Runner. Blade is just that's too it's not good. But yeah, I need to get some more. I'm not
addicting.
Done.
Oh yeah.
I've got calves left and I've got a lot of skin left.
Yeah, I mean, just above the belly button one too, there was some space on the second pairing abs. Yeah, I mean, neck tattoos are coming in. You can always go with the Tyson right on the face.
No
do
face.
A little Post Malone tear.
I would do fronted. I would do here, but I wouldn't go anything on the face. I go neck here.
I feel like that'd fucking kill. Just like neck right to the jugular.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know if it's not on like a bone or like these are the worst. This area is the worst. Yeah. Ribs are the worst. Elbow, worst. Right on the bone. Oh. You can't wait for that to be over.
And like the worst is you don't feel it. Like if you're getting this arm done and you're hitting a bone, you feel it on like this arm. Like the pain. It's not this side that hurts.
Yeah, you might feel it in your back. You're like,
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, those are some weird pains when they hit those bones.
And it doesn't help my tattoo artist isn't the smallest dude either. He's a big boy and he's not shy with the needle. I mean, he does great work. I've never had problems, so like I'm not gonna complain. But like
the first guy that gave me my first tat had his eyes tattooed.
Oh,
they're all black.
Eyeballs?
Yeah. And like all black, man, and scariest motherfucker. I thought I booked with the other guy. So I'm like, this guy looks cool. He looks like the guy from like one of the guys from Tattoo Nightmares at the time that was like doing the fixing. So I was like, okay, sick. Like, this guy's cool. I know somebody that was tattooed by that guy. And then they're like, yeah, you're with this guy. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Like, fuck I am.
and the thing, he didn't talk the entire time. And like they have the foot pedal, right?
Yeah.
and he's just whatever metal music's on in the shop. He's just like, and he's just going to the beat of the song,
Yeah.
and it made me so goddamn nervous. And he's like looking at me. He's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "Does it matter what I think?"
Yeah. Does it matter? I love it, man.
Yeah, it's the best.
You can look.
Yeah.
You can look at what it is.
No, it's good. It's cool. I'll just.
Yeah.
How much was it? Yeah.
I got the rib ones down in downtown Ottawa. Can't remember what the place was called, but I went down there with Ray and I got the rib ones down there. The kids' names. Are you guys in Toronto?
No, we're in Cornwall, so we're about an hour from Ottawa.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, between Ottawa and Montreal. Yeah. Well, we'll wrap it up. We'll let you get to game 6. Thank your wife. We'll give a shout out to her for making sure that technically we were able to do this.
Yeah. She's been monitoring the podcast. So
That's perfect. Normally we have like agents, or you know, we had Tommy Chong on at one point, and his son coordinated everything. And
really,
yeah,
that's what we said.
Yeah. Yeah, literally
Tommy
messaged him. I'm like, Tommy, you want to come on our 420 episode? And he's all like, sure, man. Text my son. Just gives me his son's number.
Oh, really?
I'm just like, sweet, man. Just like stoner, just trusting anybody. Like, he had no idea who the fuck I was.
Yeah. Have you reached out to Eric Cole yet?
I tried, man. I've messaged him. Was a big fan of him in Montreal. Gave a high five to the ref after a goal. I messaged him on Instagram. And
I'll tell him. He's my best hockey friend. I'll tell him.
That is fucking
That's
huge.
wicked. I love that.
Chef kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best. Coles's the best. He'll have a lot of shit to say about me.
Well, that's
we'll defend your honor, Joe. Don't worry.
Yeah, nice light. You are our first. I mean, at the time we've had a few others since, but you are our first retired player to follow us on Instagram, and it was before we even followed you. Like, this was early on. I'm like, what? Like, there's always these fake accounts of celebrities and stuff. I'm just like this Joe Corvo fan page followed us, and then it'd be weird if they just had photos of you working out at the gym.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, like, this is legit him. I'm like, how the fuck did he, like, why is he following us?
Well, I mean, I like listening to people talk about hockey and interesting stories about hockey. We could do a follow-up sometime and we could do a deeper dive.
Well, we would love.
I love going down rabbit holes, man.
I got one question before we let you go. Alfie, was Alfie that was intensive ping pong? Who was telling us that?
Yeah, well, Alfie, both hands.
Both, yeah, he would put his name twice in the tournament.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, left-handed Alfie, right-handed Alfie.
Yeah.
He was good. Yeah, I think he was good at ping
I don't
pong.
remember.
I can't remember who told us that.
He was just a good overall athlete, Alfie.
What a set of hair on the guy too.
Yeah, when he had the just Mike Commodore like afro.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about that goal in what was it, game 5, 1-on-4 to end the
Coming
series.
down the wing on Miller.
1-on-4 to end the whole series in Buffalo.
Yep.
Insane.
I remember where I was watching that.
Insane. He's one of the best players I've ever played with. He's just so smart. So smart. Hockey sense through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? You're coming in at a good time. I think eventually he's going to take over in Ottawa. Just reach back out. Joe Corvo running the D lines.
He's sick. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in training. We'll see what happens.
Hey, we'll put in a good word where we can. We're hoping to. I worked with Hockey Canada this year, and was talking with Craig Button, and we're hoping to get to the All-Star game this year. Get some media passes for that.
Yeah,
Canada, and
you guys are building nice.
Yeah, we'll just start dropping some names. I know, we had Matt Parkner on a couple weeks ago. He's coaching the Solar Bears in Orlando, so we'll just be like, hey, anybody's looking, any coaches on the bench, you guys looking for an upgrade? We know a couple boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of big boys too.
Yeah, fuck with those two.
Yeah.
For sure. we'll see what happens with that. It's I think there's I think that could be a possibility down the road. You look at some coaches now, like, do you guys remember in Chicago, what was it, 2 years ago, that guy, Jeremy Colleton? Like,
Yep.
where did that guy come from? And how did he get an NHL head coaching job? That was like insane to me. I feel like you have to put in some time somewhere and not just be given just because you have like a suit. Maybe he had a great interview. No fucking clue. But like we talked about earlier with Rod Brindamore, like your coach has to have some sort of respect level.
Yeah.
All the players, and I think we had that. We had Jeremy here with the Blackhawks, and like, who's gonna respect that guy unless he's like unreal, like Paul Maurice. Like he never played, but that guy demands respect. I just don't think.
I feel like that same feeling for the guy in Edmonton right now. Like, he looks like a fucking nerd, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
man, if this guy came in and told Connor McDavid, "Listen, this is how we're doing it," and I was Connor, I'd be like, "Go fuck yourself."
Yeah, right?
Like, see you later, bud. Take a hike.
Yeah,
I'll see you at the game tonight. I'm
Yeah.
skipping practice.
Connor McDavid, first coach player,
Yeah.
player coach combo in the NHL.
yeah. It's an important job, and the coach has to demand respect. So
Stressful as fuck too. I can't even imagine.
Well, like I said, you walk in with those biceps. I'm not talking while you're talking. Wherever you say goes, coach.
I appreciate that. And
No problem. Especially, you can be the first coach in the league with a neck tat.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Berkey, loosens the tie and does a couple buttons. You're behind the bench, just like some neck tats coming out.
Hey, if I know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter what I look like.
No, but the intimidation factor, they cut to you on the TV. Some coaches are yelling, they're red in the face. I use cool, calm, collective, like security guard behind there, just start popping like the chest. Like,
yeah.
No, I think we can make this work for you.
I'm liking where it's going.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, thank you again for coming on.
Yeah.
I've had a blast. I'm looking forward to diving down the rabbit hole a little further. We can peel back the many layers of Joe Corvo.
That's gonna take a while.
Hey, all I have is time.
I'm open to it. So
what's those TSN? They have those 3-part or 4-part series now of like
30 and 30.
Yeah, 30 and 30s, and we'll just talk about like your childhood and how you grew up and why you are the way you are, and let's really dive deep here.
Yeah. Also, you talked about being a dual sports guy, so I want to know about that too.
We'll find your your minor league coaches, and we'll get some of your baseball buddies on. We'll black them out if they don't feel like being on camera. We'll do that light trick. If they don't feel safe.
Yeah. Vegas 3-0.
3-0.
Second period.
Wow.
Hoping for a game 7.
Jamie Benn should just sit the bench. They played better without him.
Yep. Yeah, Florida's gonna win the cup.
Yeah, I fucking hope so, man. I have a buddy, diehard Panthers fan. The guy deserves it. Don't know why he's a Panthers fan, but
yeah.
Maybe they'll get a few more fans, new arena out of it.
Yeah, that ice there sucks. It's the worst ice in the league.
Well, how do you keep ice?
You can't.
No.
You're just hoping.
Even Amalie Arena, like, it's just, you can tell just the architects weren't hockey guys.
Yeah, that ice sucks too. Terrible ice.
Well, when you tear an ice out and you put a basketball floor in the same day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I mean, I've never played on that ice. I mean, can't be good.
Dude, we had games when I played in LA where the Lakers were playing in the afternoon and we were playing a 7 p.m. game. It was just like,
wow,
the ice is so bad.
Yeah, slush.
Yeah,
get to the corners, you're gonna fall.
Yeah, I think it helped me out later though, because playing on good ice, you're like, oh, this is great ice. Like Ottawa's good ice, Montreal, great ice, Toronto, great ice. not so great fans, but
Preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah, you fit right in on this
Corporate
podcast,
Carl.
Joe.
Corporate Carl can't get it done.
Yeah.
What size T-shirt are you?
Large.
Okay, we'll
I
send
like
you.
the size down, so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, your torso's large. Your arms are 2X.
exactly.
All right, well, we'll send you an average Jocks T-shirt.
Nice. I'll send you a Brass Monkey T-shirt.
I'll
That's
rep
good
that.
to do.
Honestly, whenever you brought up monkeys, the first thing I thought in my head is this guy plays for the Savannah Bananas.
What size are you guys?
Fuck. I'm XL.
Yeah, I'm a large.
All right, I'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. All right, Beauty Joe. I think it's like the third time. Thanks for coming on. It was a blast, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Thanks, Joe.
Appreciate it,
Take care,
guys.
brother.
It was a good time. Take care.
Thanks.